Hello everyone, how are you? My name is Teacher Audrey and we're just going to give everyone a few minutes so that they can join on, but I would love for you guys to go ahead and mention in the comments where you are from. Let's see, where is everyone from? Let's see. Go ahead and comment below, guys. Let me know where you are tuning in from so I am able to just say hello to everyone. Give it a few more minutes. I hope everyone is having a great day. South Africa. Ooh, very, very nice. Hello, Heidi. Alrighty. Give it a few more minutes. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm trying my new earbuds on, and so hopefully they work all good. Ooh, the Netherlands, very nice. See a lot of people from South Africa. That is very cool. Very good. Okay, everyone. Well, my name is Audrey. You guys might have seen me when I took over and did the last webinar. I think it was maybe a month ago. And we will go ahead and... Can you guys hear me better now? Let's see. Let me know if you could hear me. Give me a thumbs up. If not, I can go ahead and switch my headphones. I can hear you clearly. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Anne. Go ahead and keep on letting me know. All right. Yes, if you have any problems hearing me, please let me know, as these are brand new and I have never used them on a webinar before. All right, everyone, so let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, my name is Audrey. You guys might have seen me at a previous webinar or hopping around on itoiTEFL's Instagram and such. So today we are going to talk about how to land the perfect online interview. Am I able to increase my volume? Let me know if that helps. But if not, like I said, I can change my headphones. Okay, so today we're going to go ahead and talk about how to do your online interview, because it's something that's a little bit more difficult as you're not in person and you don't have that impression, the first impression of walking in and really meeting someone. So let's go ahead and first just talk about, okay guys, I'm going to switch my headphones for you real quick. I can hear you loud and clear. Oh, getting mixed signals. Okay, well, I have them on standby, so just let me know if there's any issues. So I have been an online TEFL teacher for about 3 months, maybe 4 months. Good morning, San Francisco. I'm originally from Petaluma, so I'm rather close to the San Francisco area. However, now that I am an online TEFL teacher, I have been teaching online in Milan, Italy. So beforehand, I was an in-person teacher at a private school in Milan, Italy, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to take it online. So I went ahead and took my teaching and went on to an online company, and it has been the best decision I have ever made, because you have unlimited opportunity for income most times. Because you don't have to work a set amount of hours. You get to pick and choose. You also have the flexibility of doing your own schedule. So if you want to take mornings off, if you want to work nights, you get to pick and choose how you go about it. So first I'm going to tell you, like I said, am from America. I am from an area near San Francisco. However, I decided to move to Milan, Italy. I started as an au pair and quickly got my TEFL certificate through itoiTEFL. I went ahead and did one of their level 3 courses, as it was the perfect fit for me. And since that moment, I have not looked back. Wanting to be someone that lives abroad, jobs might be a little limited just depending on what you want to do. So teaching English is the perfect profession. It is an easier job to get, and it's just great. It's something that is going to be useful because you have something that other people do not have. So I did the in-class situation, and then I decided to go ahead and go online once everything started becoming a little bit crazy and going on with that. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and talk about what we will be covering in this webinar. So we are going to go ahead and be covering things such as how to land the job interview, tips and tricks for your demo class, your CV and how you should write that, and just letting you know what you should do to kind of be like a number one component in the hiring process, because you have to remember that you are going to have more people that you are being hired against. But that doesn't make it a bad thing. You can definitely make it in this industry. You just need these small tips and tricks so that you are able to continue to thrive and to get this job. Hello, everyone. Okay, last time I'm going to ask, please let me know if there's any hearing problems, as I'm now switching in to a little bit more about the course and less about me. Okay, so first off, let's talk about how you become an online English teacher. So there are two different things. One, you need to have a TEFL, teaching English as a foreign language. All online companies are pretty much going to be looking for that because they want to know that you have been trained to teach these students that aren't native in English. So, very good. Thank you, Kirsten. Okay, all clear. Glad everything worked out. Sorry about all those issues. So you are going to want to have a TEFL. People always ask me, do you need a degree? Not with every company, no. Some companies, yes, are going to ask you, do you have a degree? You need a degree. Other companies are going to say, no, you don't need a degree. Teacher Audrey's English, me. I do not have a degree in education. I have my TEFL that I went ahead and got through itoiTEFL, and to me, it was the perfect course. I absolutely love it. It's the course I recommend to all of my friends, as it's very informative. They have many different levels, and it was just the perfect option for me. So now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the itoI courses, as I have many people usually messaging me on my Instagram and saying, which course do I need? Because there's many different options. There's level 3 as well as there is level 5, and there are different hours. So what I would like to say is level 3 is going to be enough information where it's going to teach you what you need. However, level 5 is going to go more in depth. It's going to go a lot more in depth into different structures. Some of their courses have business attached to it as level 5. Some of them, it gives you a step up if you do choose the level 5 course. You are going to have better options, especially as a non-native speaker, but even as a native speaker, you are going to have the option of getting a higher pay. So you kind of have to choose what's best for you. If all you could do is the level 3 because of your time restrictions and maybe the cost or something, level 3 is great. I did it, and for me, it wasn't a problem. I love the course. However, if you really haven't had any background experience in a classroom, I would recommend maybe going ahead and doing the level 5 course. I had been doing teacher's assistants, working in schools, volunteering, stuff like that. So for me, level 3 was enough for what I needed. However, if you don't have any experience, I would recommend doing a level 5. If you're non-native, I would recommend doing a level 5. It just gives you the foot up, it puts you at a higher level, and it looks great to employers. So if you guys have any more in-depth questions about that, you could check out itoi's website. They actually do a comparison of the courses and let you know what you are getting in each course. So you could do that. You could reach out here, and we have some itoI employees that can help answer your questions and such. So now we're going to talk about teaching online. So let's get started. Teaching online, you do not have that first initial in-person interview. So it's going to be a little bit of a different process. With that being said, it doesn't mean that it's going to be easier or that it's going to be more difficult. It just means that there is going to be a little bit of a different hiring process and things to know. Okay, see some questions about level 3 and level 5. You can also teach business on a level 3 and then get the a la carte level business degree, TEFL course, such like that. itoiTEFL has an amazing explanation on their website, so for more questions about their courses, I definitely recommend going to that. I know about them, however, that's going to give you every single breakdown that I'm not going to be able to give you right now. So definitely check out itoiTEFL's website. Sorry guys, about to say Instagram page. Check out their website and go ahead and course compare and find the best option for you. You are also going to be able to go ahead and if you need to, you can have a call with one of their support members that can help you talk more and more about that. To find the best course that's right for you, because we all have different needs for this journey. So I don't want to say something and it could actually be a different course that's a little bit better for you. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that. Level 5 has many advantages, but level 3 is also a great course. So I would do your own personal research on that as well. Go ahead, just go to that itoiTEFL website and you will get all the information. However, I completely back itoiTEFL. They're absolutely amazing. I did my course with them and I've had probably 10 friends of mine do their courses with them. It's legitimate, it's great, their customer service is amazing, everything like that. So I can't go wrong with saying I love itoiTEFL. Clearly, I'm here, I'm hanging out with you guys on their Facebook page. So now let's go ahead and talk about how you can apply. Most companies that I have noticed are going to want you to go ahead and have your TEFL certificate already. That doesn't mean that it's all companies. Some companies might let you go through the application process and the last step be uploading your TEFL. However, you have to remember that, of course, it is an educational company and they're going to want to go ahead and see what you have. So, of course, it's smart to go ahead and do your TEFL first and then apply, but you can also do your TEFL while creating your account, because remember, your account is going to be like a CV, kind of like a Facebook, because you're going to tell them all about you. So there's many different steps throughout this process. So first thing to do online teaching, get a TEFL certificate, as well as looking into which companies need degrees and which companies do not need degrees. Do not think because you don't have a degree, this is not a job option for you. I do not have a degree and I am doing perfectly fine on my online teaching. Bonita, I see that you ask if it's specifically teaching degrees. That's going to vary from company. Some companies are only going to want educational back degrees. Other ones are going to be okay with other degrees. So that's that. Now let's talk about where you can apply. There are hundreds, and I mean hundreds of online places to apply. It actually kind of blew me away because, you know, you hear like, oh, you could be an English teacher online, like, and you don't really think it's an actual thing, but it is. I was actually so surprised. It was really a eye-opener to me. You hear about it, but you think maybe it's just like the top special people can do this, but that's not true. Anyone can do it, and that's why it's so amazing. So, of course, different companies are going to need different things. With that being said, that some companies are going to want degrees. Other companies are not going to want degrees, but they need your TEFL. Some companies are going to need certain work schedules. Other companies will say, hey, work whatever hours you want. There's a whole bunch of different companies. Some want kids. If you can't tell, I actually teach all kids. However, I did, of course, teach adults as well. Usually I don't teach them with this background though. It just depends. Some of them I do. But with that being said, you also have to decide, do you want to teach adults? Do you want to teach children? Do you want to teach business? Do you want to have lessons that are planned for you? Do you want to plan these lessons? So let's just talk about that. There are a million places to go to apply. And with that being said, I would go to itoiTEFL. They actually have a sister company which has to do all about finding the correct place. So it is called lovetefljobs.com. This will go ahead and tell you everything that you need to do. Places you need to apply for, the requirements for the company, the salary, everything like that. Candace, you cannot hear me. Can everyone else hear me? Please let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Hopefully you could hear me. Let's see. Let me know if you can hear me, please. Okay, I got a little thumbs up emoji, so I'm thinking I'm doing good. Jake, thank you. Okay, so turns out you can't hear me. Candace, maybe try to put your volume up on your phone because I have people saying, yes, they can't hear me. No, they can't. So maybe it's your connection or your phone. So, like I was saying, go ahead and check out lovetefljobs.com. They are perfect. They actually just went ahead and posted the link so you could just click it. That will make it way easier for you. And yeah, that's a great website to go to because it actually lists all the specific needs and everything like that. So it's going to go ahead and break down all the information. It's no point of wasting your time applying for the place if you do not have the correct qualifications for that place. So I highly recommend going on to the lovetefljobs.com to getting more information about that. Now, you could also teach, you could also teach abroad. I have my little notes so I don't forget anything because I'm kind of a rambler. So you're also going to have things where you can teach abroad. That is going to, be a little different in this time. So what I would do is if you're focusing online right now, go ahead. You could look at other TEFL job boards. You could type in a blog and literally or in Google search and say, where am I allowed to work as a South African? Or you could type in, where can I work online teaching English if I don't have a degree? And there will be other platforms that pop up if you need additional help than the Love TEFL Jobs. However, I just released a blog about the top 30 TEFL online teaching companies. And then they also have one that is strictly for South Africans and where they could live. So guys, itoiTEFL does amazing work. They do all this research for you. So also go ahead and just check out their blogs, check out their website a little bit. Jillian, there is jobs that are for South Africans that I actually just did a blog about. So you can go ahead and look into that. So now let's go ahead and talk about a few different things that are going to be within these job companies. So some companies are going to want you to, stay on a 6-month contract, sign a year contract. Some of these companies are only going to want to pay you in their currency and have you switch. Small things. I mean, not that they're bad. I get paid in UN and it switches into dollars. It works perfectly fine for me. So with that being said, I would just look out into different things, think about your pay. Some companies are going to pay you more. Some companies are going to pay you less. Some companies are going to want UK, US speakers. Some companies are going to want South African speakers. It goes for everyone. And I see a lot of comments that say, oh, it is only for American, Canadian, UK. That is not true. There are enough people in this world trying to learn English. So I promise you it might take a little bit longer for you to find your company that's perfect for you, but don't give up. I think that's the biggest thing. You might not make it your first time. And with that being said, is if you don't make it with one company, don't give up, because there's millions of others. You just have to do your research and find which one works best for you. So with that being said, when you are looking at the job details, look into the contracts, look into the amount they want to pay you, look into if you have to work weekends, look into sick pay, or cancellation charges and everything like that. So with that being said, I mean, I would do this in an in-person job as well, is to go ahead and just make sure you look greatly and look at the fine print of what you are signing up for. So I think that's something that you really need to look out for, is just to look at what some companies are offering and what other companies are not offering. Just look at the differences, just like you would a normal job. I strongly believe that you should not think of this job in applying for this job any different than applying for it in person. So let's keep on going. Let's go ahead and talk about your CV and your resume. A lot of people think you don't really necessarily need a CV or a resume when you're doing an online interview. That is false. Some companies are going to have it listed in a different way. Some are going to be that you are going to enter it into the website but not actually upload a CV, but it's going to ask you about your experience, your qualifications, everything like that. So with that being said, I would keep a professional CV, have it all ready. If this is your first TEFL job, I do not recommend saying, I have no experience. If you've ever worked with kids, go ahead and put that down. So let me go ahead and actually go into detail about what my CV said. I had been working at a school for quite a few months, so I did have that for me. But even to get the school job, the in-person school job and the online job, I didn't just mention that. I went ahead and mentioned, okay, let's see. I was an au pair, so I taught Italian students English. I went ahead and said I was a camp counselor, which I did for 6 years. So I was teaching students, how to be outdoors, how to go without their parents. They were 6th graders, so, they hadn't really left home. So I was their teacher and their mother and their father for that week away. I went ahead and talked about my babysitting experience. I actually homeschooled a little boy. I helped him. I was like part babysitter, part homeschool teacher for him. I talked about that. I talked about my classroom assisting. So if you don't have any experience, do not say, I don't have any experience. Think of small things that could be helpful. If you're teaching adults and you used to work in an office job, you can write about that. Say how you used to collaborate with other office job co-workers and stuff like that. You could say, oh, I trained this person for my position. Anything that's related to teacher or honestly human interaction, like teamwork, teaching someone, stuff like that you could throw in there. Okay, I'm going to look at some of the questions because they keep on popping up and, sorry, get a little distracted. Yes, I will go ahead and talk about the demo lesson just a little bit later, going ahead and just talking about CVs first, because that is your second step. It's your TEFL, then it's your CV. Companies don't necessarily ask you for reference of who they could call. That hasn't happened for me, but I'm sure it is out there and a requirement for some people. So with that being said, of course, if you have a reference, go ahead and get it. So now, like being said, you're going to do your TEFL, then you are going to go ahead and do your online resume. With that being said, create a professional resume as something that you would hand into an employer if it was in school or online. Make it identical. What you can do is if the online one asks you for a broken up, you could take those key points and put those over to the website. Jabu, a resume is a CV, you might call it. It's just telling you your experience, your educational background, everything like that. So that is going to go ahead and, let them know a little bit about you and what you have experience in. So then let's also go ahead and talk about the other process. You might have to upload photos of yourself, create an introduction for parents. I had to write a little like, hi, my name's Teacher Audrey. I'm from here. I've done this. I like to do this, such and such. Then we're going to go ahead and, of course, if you get accepted, you are going to have an interview, which can be in like a video call or it could be online questionnaires. So with that being said, some people are going to want an interview face-to-face, which will obviously be online. And they will ask you questions such as, why do you want to work here? What makes you want to be an online teacher? Things such as that. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about preparing your online interview. Again, let's just mention that the process of how long an online application takes to go through is going to depend on a lot of things. It's going to depend on if the company works on weekends. It's going to depend on if you need to do an interview and a demo class, all of that to be watched and processed. So it might not be something that you're hired like right away, like some other jobs where you're called like the next weekend. It might be something that takes you a few weeks, and that's okay, don't worry. So let's talk about preparing for your interview. Research your company. What I did is I went online, I looked at the blogs, not only from the company, but I looked at the blogs from employees that work there. I looked at the company's website and what they offered. I tried to find what their interface looks like so I could talk about anything about the company, because if you have background knowledge about your company, it shows that you are actually interested in the company and that you care. It doesn't show that you're just sending a mass CV email out to everyone like, hey, hire me. So I say always do your research, as I did with both of my jobs, and I think that is a great thing to go ahead and do. You could also look on YouTube. There's some videos of interviews, how to interview or how to pass the interview for this company. I haven't seen Renew that companies want you to upload it on YouTube. What you could always do is, I'm pretty sure you could do a private setting and then email them the link. So as far as interviews go, it will most likely be something like Zoom, Skype, or Teams, or it might actually be a section of their platform. With that being said, dress professional. Take this as if it is a normal interview, like you're doing it in person. Because remember, you kind of have that hard obstacle of you're not actually in there in person. So it's going to be a little bit different. So with that being said, find a place with good lighting. If you're working with a kid company, I would recommend having a fun background. Or maybe you just have a place where it's a clean background. Dress professional. If you need to hide tattoos and your nose piercing for the company, do that. My company had no idea I had a nose ring or any of my tattoos. I cover everything up and take my nose ring out. So remember that you need to look into that as well, because if you show up like, hey guys, hey, like showing everything off, you're most likely not going to pass if one of their company policies is no tattoos and piercings. So with that being said, let's talk about how you talk. You need to be just as you would as an in-person interview. You need to almost be more dramatic. Not saying like, oh my, hello, I'm from America. Like, no, not like that. But what you need to do is you need to have this uppity attitude. With that being said, come in. Hi, how are you? It's so nice to meet you. I hope you're having a great day. Oh, what time is it where you're at? Something like that. Always have like this upbeat, positive attitude, a energetic voice. If you can't tell, I like talking with my hands. It's actually not even because I live in Italy. I did this when I was in America. You know what I mean? So come in and just come very passionate and ready to blow them away. So what I would do is, what do these employers want to see? They want to see who you are as a person. Don't be like, hello, my name is Audrey. I did a TEFL and now I want to teach online. I think it would be fun to teach kids. Was that fun for you to watch? That wasn't even fun for me to do. Be like, hi guys, my name is Audrey. I have experience doing this, this, and this, and I decided I want to be an online teacher because I moved to Italy. I understood what it was like learning a second language, and I would love to be able to give that back to people around the world. You could say stuff like, I love traveling, so I would love to even go about and visit the country that I'm working for, and just things like that. Be a real person. Don't just stick to the bland, this is my history, I worked here, I did this for my educational background, and stop. Don't read it off your CV. Almost make it like you're seeing a friend that you haven't seen in years. You know, keep it exciting. Don't go overbearing, I would say. Don't talk so much where they cannot ask the questions that they want. Of course, I'm just talking all this webinar, so sorry. If you guys have questions, of course, drop them below. I'm trying to catch up with them as I am doing this. And then at the end, we'll go over more questions. So with that being said, just be a bright, bubbly personality, because you have to remember this is how you're going to act with your students, if not more. Oh my goodness, my students get a full-on, I like to call it the Super Bowl halftime show of teaching English. Like full on, like, woo! You want to keep these people engaged because they don't know you. You're not in the room with them. You really need to just hold their interest. So they want to see what you can do, how you can act. They're going to ask you questions such as, what happens if you have a shy student? Okay, you don't come in screaming and hollering like, hey, are you ready for a great class? Okay, what is this? It's a hair tie. Can you say hair tie? Like, that might scare a shy person. So one thing I talk about hugely in my interview was how I could adapt to every student. Because if you come in all woo with a student that's shy, that's going to make them rather uncomfortable. And with that being said, that student might not actually learn for you. So my number one key point is I could adapt to any student that I need to. And that's a huge thing that companies want to know, that they can't only give you one type of student, but that you're able to recognize what your students' needs are. So go ahead and talk about that in an interview. Like I say, an interview is kind of where you brag about yourself in a humble way. You want to tell them all your strengths, and they may even ask you about your weaknesses, and you are more than able to go ahead and mention those as well. I wouldn't leave it as an open-ended weakness. So something I said in my interview was, with some of my students, I focus more on one area in class, and I realized that my time goes by, and then the rest of the class I might be like, oh my, I need to keep on, keep on getting through all the material. But how did I fix that? I started putting a timer next to my desk. So what I did is I divided how many slides I had created by the number of minutes of the lesson. Jenny, don't worry, I actually teach both adults and children, so pretty much all this information is the same for adults. If you're applying for an adult company, you still need to come in with like a positive energy and ready to teach those adults as well. Of course, some people might want more calm, but still you just have to approach it in a positive way, if that makes sense. So if you have specific questions about teaching adults, you can drop those below as well, as I teach both children and adults. So now let's go ahead and go over a demo class, because that's what we are all here for. So with the, hold on one second, may you give us an example of how you would demonstrate the change of students from energetic and engaged to shy? Like if they ask you how to react to a shy student, what would you display? So if they are asking me to, talk with a shy student, I would still kind of do the same thing. I would figure out what they like. Some students like their puppets. So, I mean, I have puppets here. I'll bring one. Let's see. My bear is a nice friend. So I could go ahead instead of being like, who is this? This is Bear. Can you say hello, Bear? You know, I would just tone it down. I talk to some of my child students as if they are adults that have no interest in the extra dramatics. I'll say, okay, now, Susie, what is this? Teacher Audrey has one. Bear has one. You have one. What is it? I'll hold up a paper prop. Nose. Nose. They might not like the clapping. I do that with some of my students. Some other students don't like it. So maybe I'll go to the finger method. I'll say, it is a nose. Now you, Susie, you try for me. Ready? Tell me. It is a nose. I have a very shy student. She's extremely shy, and that's kind of how I go ahead and do the lesson as well. So that would be an example. I would just say I would still use the same things. I want to use props and I want to use, stuffed animals and stuff like that so they're able to make the connection. However, with that being said, I also don't want to make them feel uncomfortable. So where I might make a song about a teddy bear, I might not do that exact example with, sorry guys, with a student that is shy. I'm going to grab a drink of water. Oh my, because I am messing up everything right now. Sorry guys. Grabbing a drink of water for 2 seconds because I am going to die of thirst. Okay, now let's keep on continuing. Sorry about that. My voice is dead from a day filled of classes and now just talking my head off. So let's go ahead and talk about the demo class. Some of these companies are going to have the demo class for you, while other companies are not going to give you any lesson plan, which means you will have to create it. They will normally tell you, okay, it is for this age group, this gender, this nationality. They'll give you some more information. It's business, it's for kids, stuff like that. What I would recommend doing is doing something not super basic, but almost basic. If you're doing children, maybe go over colors and fruits. If you're doing teenagers, maybe go over sports. If you're doing adults, you can go over, you could try to find out if you could learn something about their job. So with that being said, how to plan out a demo lesson. In itoiTEFL's course, you are going to learn all about warmers, then you're going to learn about all the activities that you do and a cooler. So I would recommend following kind of what that lesson plan is like if you need to create your own. Hold on, guys. I'm so sorry, I never lose my voice. Okay, now with that being said, how do I go about planning a demo lesson? If this is my first class, I want to get to know my student. So in my warmer, I'm just going to get comfortable getting to know them. Then I'll mention, oh, what's your favorite fruit? Then I'm going to go ahead and get into things such as maybe flashcards, teaching them the fruits. Then I'm going to go ahead and do what's in my lunchbox, where I have a box and pick things out. And then I'll go into something like sentence structure and role play and stuff like that. Again, you're going to learn all about lesson plans down below, but this is just an idea. What I highly recommend doing is when you are building your own lesson plan is to go ahead and fill in maybe like 4 activities. They want to show that you are a diverse teacher, because if one method doesn't work with one kid, at least you have 3 others that you show that will work with that kid. So it shows that you have diversity in your teaching as well. So now I'm going to go ahead and let you know that what I did when I was applying for my online teaching job was not only watch myself back. So I actually set up my iPad and got myself ready to go, meaning I set everything up and I knew exactly what my plan was of how I wanted to act in my lesson. So I went ahead, I recorded myself, I played it back for my friends and family, I got advice for them. You know, I think that's a great lesson to do, you know, practice yourself and then get honest feedback from someone else, because they're going to be a little bit more honest than you. I also judge myself very harshly. I said, ooh, in this video, my props were not set up in the correct way. In this video, I spent too much time on this and not enough on this. So I always recommend really doing like role play with yourself, of doing a mock demo class and recording it and then watching it yourself. And not just doing it once, like spare of the moment when it's interview time and then messing up. Also go on YouTube. I typed in the company I work for, I typed in blah, 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 interviews, and then pew, it popped up and I got to see different examples, sorry, not interviews, demo classes. I got to see many different examples of demo classes. You could also do this if you're planning your own lesson. You know, just look up demo classes for children, demo classes for advanced learners. I've seen messages about, oh, how long is each class going to last? That is going to depend on your company. My company is 25 minutes. I know some companies that are 30, 45, and an hour. So that is, of course, going to depend on your company. So now I kind of went over, do you choose a lesson topic, level of English? Most of the times that will be given to you. However, sometimes they might just say, hey, plan a lesson, and you do it. However, all companies I have heard of said, hey, this is your demographic, hey, this is the age group, this is the gender, this is what it's about, it's business, it's not business, it could be planning a birthday party or planning a trip somewhere. And then what can you do after teaching online? Oh my, you could do so many different things about after teaching online, or even within just after your interview. So, I mean, do your interview. Let's rewind. So, first things first, let's go ahead and let's have you do your TEFL, get ready. Then you're going to start applying to places. With that being said, you have your interview that you need to be positive, professional, and dress nicely for. Again, follow the regulations of your company, as well as be there with a positive energy, enthusiastic, and very, very passionate about what you're doing, because they are going to tell the moment you have that interview if you are worth trying a demo class with or not. Then you're going to plan your lesson or practice. And when I say practice, as many days as they let you have, try to practice 1 to 2 hours a day, in my honest opinion. I think it's great. I think it's very important to take this as serious as you would any other job, online or in person. I just think you always need to be professional, because this is going to be their main thought of how you are as a teacher. So you have to remember that. And then, of course, you're going to go ahead, you're going to go through it, and you are going to do awesome. With that being said, I want to know that all of you are going to use TPR, which could be something like mouth, you know, mouth, and then pick up a teddy bear. Ready? Mouth. It is a mouth. It could be many different things. That was my very spur of the moment example of TPR. You could go ahead and look on YouTube. However, you could also find things, you will get a little bit of that in your course, but YouTube things like, that's what I did. I YouTube TPR, child's interviews, like how to land an interview with this company, things that English second language ESL teachers do in their classes, everything like that. And I just learned at the different ways that many teachers teach, and I decided which was best for me. And after that, you of course can go part-time, you can go full-time teaching online. There's many different options. So let's go ahead and just talk about how you should stand out against your competition. So I am going to go ahead and just say that was kind of the end of all my information. So now if you have questions, go ahead and drop them below because I do have some more time with you guys. But the most important thing is that you come to this interview and to this demo class really showing how involved you are and how much you actually care about this job. If you look like you're just going to show up to get a paycheck, that's not going to translate well for them. But if you show up and you're passionate and you're enthusiastic and you have TPR and you have props and you have this and you have that, do it. It is so, so, so important because, you do have more candidates that are going up against you. You have to think about that. There are more people because we're talking about all around the world. We're not talking about the town that you live in or the city that you want to work in is your competition. This is all around the world. So, go that extra mile, research your company, be enthusiastic, practice your lessons. Go ahead, get your friends, get your family involved for your demo lessons and even for your interviews. Have them come up with questions that you haven't practiced, that they could see, okay, Audrey, why do you think you're better with kids than adults? Okay, maybe an interviewer wouldn't ask that, but that's something that you need to do. Then do, like I said, many hours of research with meaning TPR, meaning, how to do a video, how to do a demo, how to do an interview, and research the company. I found out so much information about my company that made it very useful for my interview. And now we're going to do how to do interviewers' questions. So interviewers might ask you questions. Like I mentioned before, they might ask your strong suit, your weaknesses, everything like that. And like I said before, if you have weaknesses, say it. You can't say, oh, I am the perfect teacher. No, sorry, we all have room to grow. And so with that being said, think about how you should answer that. Like I said, I spend too much time in one area, I kind of run out of time, but I fixed it because now I have a timer on my desk. When it hits that time, I move on. I see a minute before, it's time for me to wrap up that and start transitioning into the next sentence. It's going to say questions, maybe, what's your experience? If you have no experience, don't just say, I have no experience. No, say, oh, I used to be a camp counselor. I was an au pair. I did this. I did that. I worked with adults in an office, and my job was managing them and teaching them new tasks, such and such. So guys, if you now have any in-depth or any other questions, go ahead and post below. And something I want to say, because I am seeing a lot of people say, oh no, I can't make it online. Let me just tell you, I applied to be an online teacher March 24th, which was actually the beginning of, actually kind of in the middle of the coronavirus times, meaning that Vietnam had already gone into lockdown and Italy was going into lockdown, and so were a ton of other places. With that being said, it does not mean that there are so many people that you will never get this job. I ended up getting the job, and here I am. I am completely booked solid for my schedule. I have a few openings here and there due to cancellations, but I'm more than 90% booked on my schedule. And what I want to tell you is one company might not be the company for you. Another company might be better for you. You need to look into a ton of different things. But if you have the attitude going into it as, oh, there's too many teachers, I won't make it, you're not going to try your hardest and you're not going to do your best. So what I want to say is really try your hardest and be encouraging to yourself. I'm going to get this. If I don't get this, I'll get the next one. If I didn't get this, okay, here's why I didn't get it. Like I said, there are billions, trillions of people in this world that want to learn English. So there will always be a demand for online English teachers and in-person English teachers. So with that being said, do not get so down on yourself because it is so possible. So now let's go ahead. I'm going to answer some of your questions. Let's see, our demo class is normally live with the company or pre-recorded. Okay, so my demo class was actually with a fake student. The student wasn't even there. I did it. The company was not present as it was like midnight, 1 a.m. their time. They recorded and then they watched it later on. Some lessons will be with a student or even a company member that acts as the student. Let's keep on going. Okay, Jake, is there still strong demand for online teaching jobs? Yes, Jake, completely. We still have people being hired at my company. I've seen other companies starting hiring again and everything like that. So if you put the energy into it and you research your companies, you will most definitely find an online teaching job. You just have to find what's best for you. Can I teach it in Switzerland? Heidi, I think depending on your course and your qualifications, but also Switzerland, some countries might, it might be mandatory to have a degree. That's all going to depend on your country, as well as things like I live in Italy, I have a TEFL, I don't have a degree, but I could teach in a private school, but for a public school, you have to go through the Italian education system. But that's for public. I could still work in private without a problem. Jenny, it looks very competitive. I think any job you have is going to be competitive. So it just means that you need to make sure that you have all the tips and tricks, which I hope I gave to all of you guys about how you can make it possible, because if I can do it, you can do it. How many lesson plans do you have? How many should I make before teaching my own lessons? Okay, so I think this is more so for after getting your job. My lesson plans with my company are, they are all my own. Sorry, guys. They are all my own, so I create those. Some days I'll create them weeks before, some days spur of the moment. I have one mom that will text me, hey, I want a lesson right in 15 minutes, and so I have to come up with something in 15 minutes. I think that kind of depends. itoiTEFL also has lesson plans that if you're a new teacher and don't necessarily feel confident about that, you could also purchase their little booklet. So let's keep on working. By the way, I see some people say that they're having troubles finding jobs as South Africans. I do have friends from South Africa that do online teaching for English, so keep on working on that. Has the pandemic affected job opportunities abroad? Are jobs still interesting in bringing in foreigners? Jake, that is going to depend on many things depending on the regulation. However, most people in most countries want mother tongue English teachers, so your jobs teaching abroad will be there. It just depends if your country is open or not during this pandemic. So with that being said, honestly, I don't think it's affected. Again, we just have to see what the situation is with everything going on. Let's keep on looking. Jojo, I work with a company called Palfish. They are great. They hire UK citizens, Canadians, Americans, Australians, Irish, and people from Australia. They do hire South Africans, but it's for a different part of the course. They also hire people from the Philippines, but again, that's part of a different course. If you have any questions, if any of you have any more in-depth questions that I haven't answered here, my Instagram is TravelRichMoneyPoor. It is in the description. Go ahead, follow me, and we could talk more in depth. Yeah, actually, I think you're, Maria, I see that you are talking about giving practice demos to people on Facebook and Instagram. I actually sorry guys, I actually got started teaching online. Actually, so I did private tutoring. Oh my golly. Okay, hold on. Okay, sorry guys, it's been a long day. So I actually started doing tutoring while I was teaching privately. Of course, things happened, everything went into online, and I started reaching out actually on a Facebook group for my city in Italy, and I got many people and students from that. So go ahead and do that. Charlotte, I just find they don't give feedback after an interview. Some companies might not. What I recommend doing is also recording yourself. So maybe you're doing it on the laptop, screen record it on your phone, and then you'll be able to look back and maybe have your friends and family give you tips. I heard about using webcam apps during a lesson. That is going to depend on the company. I am not too sure about those things. How about saying if the company is you applied for is legitimate? Okay, that being a huge thing, because of course it seems kind of sketchy working online. However, I have a great company. They pay me. I get it the same day every month. Everything's all good. AJ, what I would recommend doing is going ahead and researching the company, meaning saying like teacher reviews from this, reviews of working at this website. You're going to get all that information. Also go on Instagram. You could, of course, do the little hashtag the company and add teacher. You are going to find many different, so you could do like Bling ABC teacher, Cambly teacher, Palfish teacher. You could click on it and you could actually reach out to a teacher. Most of them are going to be helpful, and you could just say, hey, can you give me some information about this company? How's their pay? How's their interview looking like? Things like that. Okay, I'm seeing that South Africa is not looked at as favorable, and that is not the thing at all. Some companies are just only taking countries that have their native language as English. I know a lot of my friends actually learned English as their first language, so that's a bit unfortunate. However, like I said, itoiTEFL just did a blog about the top places to apply for as a South African. So do not think there aren't options for you. Sorry, guys. Joe, if you're doing a demo class, it will most likely either be on their software or something like Zoom, Skype, things such as that. So just go ahead and get yourself a laptop. And let's keep on looking. Jake, love your positive attitude. Yes, let's all get to it. Teaching English, it is a great job. It is amazing to do it online. I'm an avid traveler and I cannot wait to take this abroad with me. The good thing is I live in Italy now. However, my parents and my family are back in America. So I wanted a job that I could go anywhere in the world and not be affected. And that's why I chose to start teaching online. Like I said, guys, I work for Palfish. If you have questions about Palfish or any other companies, go ahead and reach out to me. Like I said, my Instagram is TravelerRichMoneyPoor. If you guys DM me, I always message back. It might not be tonight, it might be tomorrow, but I will always get back to you. Is it worth working for the company that employs you before you move away to be sure that they are legitimate? I think that would be a great idea. I mean, if you are looking to be an online teacher, why not start now? You could start part-time and then move up to full-time as well. See if you like that company, see if you like their interface and how everything like that is going. So if you have the time, yeah, you could start now and then move abroad. Why not? Do you have a choice between young learners and adult learners? Most websites are either catered to young learners or adults, or they are an all-age website, but they have a course for the students, for the children. So you might not get to pick if you get to work for adults or for students for the demo lesson. However, usually they will tell you. which headphones are the best? I actually bought a pair of €6 headphones. They are from Bob Marley's son. I don't know what they're called. I think they're called Smile. They worked great. However, I just bought myself an iPad Pro and I got a free pair of AirPods. That's the only reason I have them. Otherwise, they are quite expensive. However, these were great, but also these worked more than fine for me as well. I would just say read reviews before you purchase. Can you give an idea of average earning potential per lesson? That is going to depend on many, many things, my friend Amanda. However, you can make such as $10 per lesson for a 25-minute lesson, or you can make like $30 to $50 an hour. It really depends on if you're a freelancer, if you're with a company, maybe how many classes you teach and stuff like that. I've been teaching online. Okay, here is what I want to tell you, because this is a great comment to share with everyone. I have been teaching online for 11 years and successfully run my own school. I did the itoiTEFL course and it was a big help. It is hard work to get started, but it is possible. Get yourself head and shoulders above the rest. That, Jill, is an amazing, amazing, amazing comment that I think everyone should hear. Because with that being said, she's been doing it for 11 years. She is absolutely successful. I've been doing it since March, and for my situation, I think I'm successful. I've been doing it 35 hours to 40 hours to 45 hours a week. So it may be a slower process, but you could also be successful. It just depends on how much energy, enthusiasm, and drive you have, so you could all do this. Okay, how does one market themselves for part-time positions? Is it comparable to full-time slots? You market yourself the exact same way. You could just, when you post your schedule as well, so that they know. Lubabalo, sorry. Okay, they actually have another TEFL teacher that does lives who is from South Africa. So if you look on their Facebook page, which you are on right now, you will actually see that there is a South African tutor who has done webinars on here. AJ, like I said, just go ahead and message some people. Ask how the pay was. Everything was fine. Is Texas a headache? That's going to depend on what country you live in. What is the standard pay in hours? Let's say in Europe, hours are going to vary. I know people that work part-time. I worked full-time, 40 hours a week. I know people that I made 1,300 euros. I know people that made double. So it just depends on your schools, your hours, everything like that. Salaries start around $10 per hour, and this should increase as you gain experience from $20 to $30 per hour. Boom! itoiTEFL just said that out. Yes, it is going to depend. So when I started making $10 an hour if I had both of my slots booked. Then now I make $22 an hour. Okay, yes, travel rich, money poor. Thank you for all the information. Okay, you guys, you are doing absolutely amazing. Thanks for hearing me ramble and make my mistakes, drop my iPad, have headphone problems. Sorry, guys. Now, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to go ahead and reach out to me. And yeah, just let me know. I also have another question. Is it better to work as a freelance or a company? That kind of depends. I started with freelance, but with people in my town that I live in. And then I moved on to a company to be more full-time. So I think it depends on your workload. I think maybe starting out with a company could be good because you're usually given some students, and then you could do freelance. But that is a personal preference. I also went with a company because they do my lesson planning for me. So now feel free, like I said, everyone, you could go ahead and follow me on the Travel Rich Money Poor Instagram ask me any questions that you have, DM me, let me know if you guys want more webinars like this, what types of things that you guys need help in, and I will get back to you. Like I've said, I hope you guys had a really good time. I had a great time with all of you. Thank you guys for listening. And if you have any questions, go ahead and post it on here. I'll go and hang out on the itoiTEFL page, answer some questions, as well as go ahead and follow me on the Travel Rich Money Poor Instagram. And I will try to do as much as possible to help you out. Lauren, what you need for your classes is all going to depend on what company you work for. I do not use a laptop. I use an iPad, but that is strictly for my company. Other companies are going to need a laptop. So you need to just go ahead and look at the company regulations. So brief overview, as it is almost time to go. Let's just say, remember, number 1, get your TEFL certification. Number 2, research the companies you're looking for, and number 3, then upload your CV, fill out your profile, everything like that. 4, start practicing for your demo classes and for your interview. 5, you guys are going to crush it, and if you don't get the first job, do not think that is the only no or yes you will get. With that being said, go out there, no matter where you are from, no matter what you have, no matter the experience, go out there and try your hardest. Companies really look at the passion, the drive, the motivation people have, and that's how they decide. So do your research and go out there and have fun. Do not stress about your demo. Have fun, because that's what they want to see. So practice, 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 and go ahead, go crush this, and you too will be an online English teacher, and I can't wait to see your webinar with itoiTEFL and just learn information from you. So I hope you guys have a great night, and it's time for me to go drink some tea since I have no voice now. All right, everyone, have a great day, and I'm just going to say goodbye, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. Feel free, message me, message itoiTEFL. We will get back to you. We are ready for you to start this journey with us. Bye, guys.